Alright, welcome to another review, Action Bronson, only for Dolphins. Now don't tell anyone, but I listened to it. I know I'm not meant to, but I did. The highlight of this album is the production. 100%. Again, just like Joji's Nectar, there is absolutely no comparison. It made you feel like you were the mafia boss based in Hawaii somewhere. Like you've just finished a day of ordering people to execute other people for you. You get home to your beachfront mansion. You sit down on a lounge suite like made of bamboo that was half digested by the most rarest of pandas or some random exotic shit like that. You know, you sit down with a cigar that's worth $20,000. You're sipping like whiskey cognac that was, I don't know, aged in a barrel that was owned by Hugh Hefner. And then you've got like 3 naked women fanning you with palm leaves. And you're getting your feet rubbed. Like, it just feels like, it makes you feel like you are the absolute king in Hawaii. You know what I mean? Like, it's quite an impressive feeling to get from it. Like, I don't even know how to get someone to feel that way. And just a bunch of noises and drums made me feel like that. That's really impressive. The most notable album for me probably would be The Alchemist, and that was on Sergio. I'm excited at any time The Alchemist sort of does any form of work with anyone, but it was exciting seeing him here with Action Bronson, because I think the last album I reviewed, Lamb Over Rice, I think it was called, that was a collab album between The Alchemist and Action Bronson. Daringer, I think that's how you say his name, maybe Daringer. I'm going to say Daringer. He was on there twice, and he usually works with Griselda. Like, if you go onto his Genius page, the Griselda boys are all you see. Like, that's it. They're his most popular songs. So to be able to completely switch up from like that cold, I sell crack to like a Hawaii looking over a sunset through your $3 million Cartier frames feeling, it's quite an impressive switch up for him to do. But he handled it fine. There was no hiccup at all. And Bronson actually produced a track as well, Mongolia. I didn't even notice anything later either until I was like going through the track list and looking at the producers. So like to be able to blend in and like match The Alchemist and Daringer, I think is like very impressive. Like someone may have worked with him and just wasn't credited for it. But I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Action Bronson was the only credited producer for that track. I know he's produced before, but like, yeah, to that level is very impressive. Bronson, though, for the most part, was outshone. Like, I know he's constrained lyrically on, like, a vibe album like this. Like, talking about sort of social and global issues on an album like this just would not fit, and it wouldn't sound very good at all. So he is sort of forced into rapping about things that match this vibe. Like, 2 things he rapped about that I think definitely fit were his 1980s yellow BMW and Livin' La Vida Loca. That matches, but like content-wise, it's not very heavy. So he was definitely outshone, by the production. But like at the same time, he couldn't really do much more. Otherwise, it would have sounded worse. So he definitely was constrained, but he did do, for the most part, the best that he could. But yeah, most of his features still managed to outshine him. This was shown especially on Mongolia, where Hologram just absolutely snapped. His verse contains, "I eat African shrooms while rapping on tombs back in June when I clapped at your goon. My car colour blew off. Knew when it's too awful the limo driver moved off. Or we'll off you in a new golf shoes. Yeah, working on my birdie putt. You heard me, slut. Hurry up, curvy butt." Like I said, topically, the rappers are constrained and they can't really go too far out of that box. But that does sound good. Like on a surface level of things rhyming, it sounds good. Like there was multiple syllable rhyming, multiple lines per line. But for the most part, Bronson stuck with one word at the end of the line, and that's it. Just in AABB CCDD. That's it. Like, I know he can't rap about anything content heavy, but he can still include a lot of wordplay and, like good lyricism. Unfortunately, Bronson doesn't really ever get to that level lyrically. The best that he had throughout the album, in my opinion, would have to be on Vega. He says, "My hash got me spinning like a hula hoop, couple of noodles loose from the chicken noodle soup." And like he says noodle twice, so like that's already not really that great. Like I don't know why, but he seems to have a lot of knowledge in a lot of really weird niche areas. Like last time I learned about like I think it's a vitamin called ginkgo biloba, and it just helps with like your memory. And like you can get those like at the supermarket, so it's nothing sus. Like yeah, don't worry, he doesn't participate in the sus. But yeah, and this album I learned about bamboo with the lyric "Yellow Grove Figaro choke me." Yellow Grove is a type of rare bamboo, and it's often used as an ornamental piece. And like I feel like that's something you'll only ever know if you live that life. Yeah, there's no way that you're learning about ornamental yellow grove bamboo. Like, you know what I mean? That's just, it's not something people know about. I don't know, I liked it. I liked the album. It was nice to listen to, especially like sort of towards the end of the day or on the weekend where you were able to relax. But I do still feel like there was a fair amount of room for improvement. Yeah, just like lyric-wise, like not content, but like lyricism and wordplay. Yeah, there's a lot of room for growth there. I'm thinking 6.5 to 7 out of 10. I can't decide whether 6.5 or 7. It's somewhere in between there. Like 6.75 out of 10. Alright, well that's my Action Bronson review. Be sure to check back tomorrow on Spillage Villages Spilligion. It's like religion, but for Spillage Village. It's got an absolute load of people on it. Or one thing I always worry about in albums that have that many people is, will they be able to cohesively work together, especially on a religious album like one like this that's so topic focused. Be sure to check in tomorrow to find out. I'll see you then. That's a wrap.